Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, breaking down the local numbers, the backlog of testing, and taking a look at the curve in Kern County.
A local survivor of COVID-19 will become the first to donate plasma today in hopes of saving local lives. How you can help if you too have had the virus and recovered.
The Boys and Girls Club is serving a critical need during this pandemic, feeding children who might otherwise go hungry. But local thieves literally stopped volunteers in their tracks the other day on the way to make a delivery. That story on this Thursday, April 16th, 2020. The community did step up to help fill that void, thank goodness. Good morning. Good to have you with us.
It is 5 a.m. on this Thursday. Maddie, we are just one day away from Friday, which means we've got the weekend quickly approaching.
And what does it qualify today as, Alex?
Friday Junior.
There we go. It's Friday Junior, everybody.
Friday
and
Junior.
Yesterday, the weather was unbelievable, Kevin. And I hear it's going to be even a little warmer today.
Yeah, even a little bit warmer today. Afternoon, actually, for our noon weather. I was showing an herb garden with all the rain we saw yesterday and the warmth that we've seen the last couple of days. The gardens are really coming alive. I want to show you a beautiful picture from last night, and I was in my backyard and put my phone up to the sky and was actually able to capture just the beautiful stars. And you have a chance to see something very unique this morning, right around 6:28. If you look in the southeast portion of the sky, you're going to see the moon, you're going to see Mars, you're going to see Saturn and Jupiter all lined up. So that's right around 6:28, just before sunrise. So keep that in mind as we go throughout the morning, and I'll remind you as well. Let's talk about yesterday's high. It was warm, 80 degrees was our high yesterday, and it wasn't a record, but it was above our normal of 75. Our record actually 97, and that was set back in 1994. Let's take a look at what we can expect for today, and you can see clear skies remain around the area. No changes on that front, at least until probably tonight. Then we'll start to see some clouds on the approach. 60 degrees in Bakersfield right now with an easterly wind at 8 miles per hour. And you can see here the hour-by-hour forecast for today. Starting out in the upper 50s, 78 at noon, and by 3 o'clock. Yes, we'll be right near 83. I think we'll actually top out at 84 this afternoon. And then for the Tehachapi area, starting out into the 50s, and then upper 60s for you this afternoon. So a very nice day ahead for all of Kern County before we start to see some changes heading into our Friday. I'll have much more of that coming up in just a little bit. Back over to you.
Yeah, just beautiful again. Thanks so much, Kevin. All right, as we await another update from Public Health in about 5 hours, here are the latest numbers on the coronavirus in Kern County. There were 20 new cases announced yesterday. That now brings the total to 562 positive tests here in Kern County. That includes 9 non-residents. This chart shows the number of new cases every day in Kern since March. You can see if you kind of look at the trend, that upward trend. So that's the curve that everyone has been talking about so much. And so we're waiting for that to plateau and then come down. That's when we know that we are on to the other side of things here. Here's a look at the number of COVID tests in Kern County. And this is the look at the tests that have been administered. More than 4,000 people have tested negative, and more than 3,100 people are still waiting for their results. Here's how those cases of positive test results break down by age. The majority of positive cases in Kern are in people between the ages of 18 and 49. Here's a map that shows a rough area of where in Kern County these cases are. The area known as Bakersfield East, which includes parts of Arvin and Lamont, has 278 cases. That's the most of any other area. More numbers are expected today. Again, they release twice daily during the weekdays, 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., and you can expect a live update this morning on KGET and KGET.com when we have that news conference. You can also download our 17 News app to get the latest sent to your phone.
Lowe's is the latest local company to confirm employees were infected with COVID-19. The company says 2 employees at its store at Rosedale Highway and Coffee Road tested positive for the virus. The company tells 17 News both associates are receiving care in quarantine. One employee hasn't been to work since March. but the other was at work on April 5th. That was less than 2 weeks ago. Lowe's says employees who worked closely with the two are on paid leave, and the store has been cleaned thoroughly and will remain open.
Meantime, several clinics and urgent care facilities are offering tests for the coronavirus if you think you need one. You're urged to call ahead, though. Accelerated Urgent Care on Coffee in Stockdale, all locations for Omni Health and Priority Urgent Care, Clinica Sierra Vista, and local hospitals. Plus, Clinica Sierra Vista and Dignity Health offer telehealth services, so you can get a checkup from home and find out if you need a test. And here are the symptoms. The most common symptoms of COVID-19 include fever, a dry cough, meaning there won't be mucus, fatigue, and difficulty breathing. Less common symptoms include aches and pains, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, and diarrhea. Remember, you can be sick with the virus between 3 to 14 days before you develop those symptoms. And flu symptoms are similar. Muscle and joint pain, though, a runny nose and a headache are more common symptoms with the flu. And a lot of people have had allergies, and those symptoms include sneezing, coughing, a runny or stuffy nose, and itchy eyes. You are urged not to touch your face because that helps to spread viruses. Again, if you think you have symptoms, call either your primary care physician or call one of those urgent care facilities before you go in for testing.
Well, from doctors and nurses to grocery store employees, there are a lot of essential workers serving our community in the middle of this pandemic. Being an essential worker during this time comes with some inherent risk, leading many companies to offer incentives to workers. Walmart gave hourly workers a special cash bonus for their hard work during this time. Meantime, Target has also announced it will give its workers a temporary $2 an hour raise. These are just some stores that are offering their essential workers extra money during this pandemic, but other big companies have yet to follow suit. Now, this raises the question over whether or not people categorized as essential workers should receive some sort of monetary incentives, such as a hazard pay bonus. And that is the subject of this morning's 17 Interactive Feedback Poll. Today we're asking, should essential workers be better compensated? You can call or text us. The number is 661-888-4617. Press 1 if yes, 2 if no. You can also text or email your Facebook comment or Facebook your comments to us. And once again, our feedback phone line is 661-888-4617. Again, 1 for yes, 2 for no. We'll have some of those comments and the results later in the show.
The time now is 5:07 and happening again today, free gas for healthcare workers. It's happening at Ramco, the convenience store on F and 23rd Streets in downtown Bakersfield. Owner Rami Batik says it's a way of saying thank you to those on the front lines of the coronavirus pandemic. It's happening from 6 a.m. to noon. This is the second time this week that Ramco has offered gas to healthcare workers. Time now is 5:08. Those lending a helping hand to others in need sometimes need a little help themselves.
Absolutely. We'll have that story coming up after the break.
Welcome back. The time now is 5:17. Today, a local survivor of COVID-19 will become the first to donate plasma at Houchin Blood Bank to help others fighting the disease. Earlier this month, Houchin announced it would begin collecting plasma from people who had recovered from the coronavirus. The plasma can then be transfused to others with the disease. It's part of an experimental treatment approved by the FDA on an emergency basis for people in serious condition. Those who recover from COVID-19 develop antibodies that remain in the blood's plasma. That can potentially boost another patient's immune system and help in recovery. And one donation can go a long way.
So one donor, like I said earlier, can give up to 800 mils of plasma, and that can go to potentially 4 patients. So one donor can help 4 patients out there.
And here's a look at the different guidelines. Potential donors need to go through their doctors and meet the following criteria: a diagnosis of COVID-19 documented by a lab test, no symptoms of the disease for at least 14 days before donating, at least one negative test result for COVID-19. Houchin is asking anyone who's recovered from COVID-19 and who is willing to help to call them at 616-2575.
Many local nonprofits are doing their part to make sure Kern County children don't miss a meal during this difficult time. But even the plight of starving children didn't stop thieves from ripping off one organization. 17's Taylor Schaub joins us this morning live with that story. Good morning, Taylor.
Good morning, Alex. For the past couple weeks, the Boys and Girls Club of Kern County has been driving around our county every weekend, providing thousands of meals to children. However, after a robbery cost them thousands of dollars, they now find themselves in need. Catalytic converters. They're a hot commodity in Kern County and subject of a lot of crime. But this week, one theft impacted many local children's lives.
I'm getting upset just thinking about it.
Zane Smith, the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club, said they were on their way to deliver 2,000 meals to kids in Arvin and Lamont when something went wrong.
The vehicles would not go over 35 miles an hour.
Concerned, he took the trucks to a local mechanic who broke the bad news.
He said, they are missing. They have been cut from your vehicle.
Luckily, they were still able to make the delivery, but now the club faces a financial dilemma.
It's one thing to be stolen from and have the kids stolen from. It's another for them to miss meals.
And with the work estimated at $3,000 and each meal costing roughly $3, the math on the meals lost is rather simple.
I would guess 1,000 meals. And like I said, had it broken down, 2,000 meals.
But why steal these exhaust emission systems in the first place? Well, Greg Perucci from Advanced Muffler and Automotive told 17 News earlier this year, what's inside can catch a pretty penny.
The precious metals inside, the platinum, the plutonium, and stuff like that.
Up to $240. But Smith says no price is high enough to justify taking from a hungry child.
The children that we serve are innocents. At some point, the people that perpetrated this were children and probably innocent also. And what an awful scenario to put them in this situation.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. The coronavirus pandemic has hit many Americans hard financially, and in an attempt to ease that strain, stimulus checks are rolling out. Check your bank account. 17's Karen Wallace spoke to a money expert to get all your questions answered.
Today is traditionally tax day when we think about paying money to the government. But instead, this morning, many Americans woke up with a stimulus check from the government.
That's one of the misconceptions about the stimulus check, is that there are strings attached. You know, you're not going to have to pay it back, or they're going to watch how you spend it. None of that's the case.
If you're a taxpayer making less than $75,000 a year, you should get $1,200 in your bank account. If you're a couple making less than $150,000 a year, you should see $2,400, along with $500 for each of your kids under 17.
If you're single and make up to $99,000, you'll still get part of that check. And if you're a married couple, you can make up to $198,000 and still get part of that check.
And if you didn't receive any money yet, it might be because you haven't filed your taxes for 2018 or 2019. Do that as soon as possible to get your stimulus check.
Those people that are not banking, so they're going to have to receive a paper check. But it's going to take a few weeks, maybe even a couple months.
Payments are also going out in reverse income order. So people with the lowest incomes are getting checks first, and people with higher incomes should look out later this month.
Yeah, this $1,200 is not going to hold you over for very long, so you have to be very, very thoughtful.
In Kern County, how far can this money go? According to the U.S. Census, $1,200 will be enough to cover the local median rent of $956. And if you're a couple getting $2,400, that could cover the median mortgage of $1,490.
Before you just rush to make that rent payment, make sure that you have to this month. Reach out to your landlord. They might give you a break.
Similarly, Anderson says you should hold off on paying debt.
Your mortgage, potentially you can delay that. Call the credit card company, see if they can delay that. That way you can stretch out this money as long as possible.
So focus on immediate necessities. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, a household spends an average of $372 a month on food at home. $1,200 will get you about 3 months of food.
It's a one-time thing right now, but I would not be surprised if we see a second round of stimulus.
Now, if you don't usually file your taxes because your income's too low or for another reason, the IRS still has a form where you can request a stimulus check, which we'll link on our website, kget.com. We'll also have a link on our website where you can track your stimulus check if you're still waiting for it. In Bakersfield, Karen Hua, 17 News.
Yeah, I know a few people are still waiting for their checks right now. Well, yesterday would have been our annual picnic supporting the Bakersfield Homeless Center, and instead, you can still support the cause by staying home and having a picnic in your yard or living room, and then donating the cost of your lunch to BHC's COVID-19 Relief Fund.
So we're encouraging people to picnic at home with their families in a park, and then donate the cost of that picnic to the Bakersfield Homeless Center on our website, so that we make sure that we continue to be able to serve those individuals that are coming in and absolutely need help.
Because of the pandemic, the Bakersfield Homeless Center is having to use their funds they typically rely on through food and supply donations. Your donations will go towards purchasing the essentials, like disinfecting products, baby items, along with additional meals for children who are now on the campus instead of at school. Now, Insurica Walter Mortensen Insurance will be matching donations up to $2,000 to help. So make sure to post your pictures online of your picnic and tag BAKHC so everyone can see the picnic apart together. Of course, yeah, we'll have more information on this coming up. All right, coming up on Sunrise, Congress can't seem to agree. This time, when it comes to figuring out how to help save small businesses. Tracy Potts has more from Washington after the break.